Hi, I'm Keenan Dory, and today I'll be discussing New Mexico State University and its tuition cuts. And here's my audience. Okay, so New Mexico State University has recently made it so tuition is half of the amount for students from Mexico as it is out-of-state students. And so I know that a lot of you guys can appreciate and understand how much college really is and how expensive it really can be. Books, living, food, and especially tuition. Tuition is very expensive throughout the country. And New Mexico State does have one of the lower tuition costs in the country, but it still is very expensive at around $10,000. So I'm going to ask you guys, how many of you are from out of state and are coming here to school?
I am.
Just one? So, and you're here on scholarship, is that right?
Yes.
And so would you be able to afford to come here on out-of-state tuition if you didn't have the scholarships?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. So I can see that there's tons of people who are having this problem. And so I've researched this topic thoroughly, and I've come to this conclusion that Mexican national students should not be paying less than American students who are from another state. As I said, college is very expensive, and I just don't know if it's fair that other out-of-state students are paying more than students from another country. So we'll also be discussing New Mexico State University's financial struggles, as well as the cost of tuition to attend New Mexico State University for out-of-state students, students from Mexico, and as well as the average cost for college in the U.S. So, moving on, according to Samantha Sonner with KRWG, the news on campus, we see that NMSU is making more than $12 million in budget cuts following reduction in state funding, a refusal by the Board of Regents to increase tuition, and decline in enrollment. So we can see that this school already is in quite a financial problem, and we're going to have to be able to get out of that. And according to Edward Jones' survey that was just done the last year, 83% of Americans cannot afford the expense of college. So with that said, we know already that college is very expensive, and that 83% of these Americans aren't able to pay for college or don't think that they can afford it, which means that they're then put into debt and have to struggle to get out of debt for years after. And they even get into debt and end up not graduating, which is another travesty. So the cost for tuition at NMSU, the average year for tuition in-state or out-of-state is $11,118. The tuition for a Mexican student at NMSU will be around $4,691. So we can see that it's about half the price to attend if you are from Mexico than if you're from, say, another state like Rhode Island or something else. Now I know that obviously the school needs more enrollment to then have a more successful endowment, and so that there aren't as many budget cuts being made, which means that there's more jobs being here at NMSU. So now to discuss this problem at hand, I'm going to move on with how this solution can be solved. As I said before, that college is very expensive, and in-state it is out-of-state is $11,118. The tuition for a Mexican student at NMSU will be around $4,691, and the tuition for a year of an out-of-state is the average cost for an out-of-state student in the country is $10,000. So we know that we need to make some sort of revision to the budget cuts in some way or another. Out-of-state students, I believe that out-of-state Americans should either have to pay a less amount than the standard $11,000, or that students from outside of the country should have to pay the standard out-of-state just like it was before. This whole issue has just come up this year, and so I know that they're trying to revise this whole idea. But with that said, is it fair for out-of-state Americans to pay more than somebody who's from Mexico or any other country for that matter? If not, we could say that Mexicans pay the exact same as an out-of-state tuition or student. And that would be fair because an out-of-state, it all equals out. And so how can we fix this problem? How can you help fix this entire problem? With everybody's help, it really can be solved, and we can continue to make this university a very happy and successful place. It can be a quick letter to your local representative, or it can be a quick chat with somebody from ASNMSU. And with everybody's help, everybody chipping in just a little bit, we can all make a change to this and make the university a really strong, successful place again, like it was. Hearing from others who are generations older than us, and they tell us how great New Mexico State University was, and we want to continue that legacy. Now, coming to a conclusion, I know that we can make a change, and with that said, thank you very much, and have a great day.